This is China's closing of the Ming Dynasty.
Drop your keyboard and read some books.
A couple of days ago, a promotion video of the Chinese animation, The Forbidden City Room of Royal Cats, was released. It immediately sparked heated discussions among some people. They are speaking Chinese by wearing Korean hanbok. Oh, they must watch many Korean dramas. China lacks confidence in its own culture. This is a fictitious rewriting of history. I'm really a bit worried about their mental state. Obviously, what they express is only a feeling of patriotism through keyboard, rather than genuine respect for their own culture. Once again, problems that can be solved with the eyes do not require the use of the brain. They are all Hanfu. First, I'll start with the historical background. As introduced in the episode of Chinese Fengzan, the Ming Dynasty had the most strict standards in terms of the clothing. Korean Yi Dynasty, as a vassal state of the Ming Dynasty, was deeply influenced by Chinese culture in terms of etiquette and the clothing system. The fact is that in the early stage of the Yi family's reign in Korea, clothes of the royal family and even the envoys, according to the etiquette system, were all bestowed by the Ming Dynasty. It must be mentioned that at the time, the Korean monarch of the Yi family was given the clothing of a royal highness. Second only to the emperor and the crown prince, with a considerable rank. Of course, bestowing clothing was limited to the upper class, and the clothing of ordinary people still retained their own traditional style. In the later period of East Korea, the etiquette and the clothing system were gradually freed from the influence of the Ming Dynasty and began to develop into a stage of national secularization. A typical example is that the craftsmen of East Korea were unable to restore Guan, which led to the emergence of the 대수Daesu as a substitute, just that one. By the way, Guan of East Korea originated from the imperial reward bestowed by the Ming Dynasty and cannot be restored by Koreans. Therefore, strictly speaking, Guan does not belong to South Korea. Then we go back to the promotion video of the Chinese animation. This controversial red dragon robe of the Ming Dynasty is one of the common clothes of the prince and his royal relatives. The throne of the Yi family in Korea was the same as that of the prefectural king, and their dragon robes were also modified based on the common attire of the Ming Dynasty prefectural king. What's the problem? I will give you an extra tip. Although Ming emperors often wore yellow dragon robes, they also wore red dragon robes as auspicious clothes. In the following hundreds of years, on the basis of the Ming Dynasty clothing system, traditional Korean clothing also underwent its own localization evolution. This is from China, and this is from Korea. This is from China, and this is from Korea. This is from China, and this is from Korea, and this is from China, this is from Korea. With same idea, it's normal to find some similarity, but as we discussed before, the cultural backgrounds of the two kinds of clothing are completely different. Indeed, compared to simply venting emotions, this knowledge seems to be boring and only left many K-people scratching their heads. But basic history still needs to be treated objectively. Don't let emotions prevail your reason and affect the image of your country. In that case, the gains would outweigh the losses.